if you allow me, I'm just going, I have foreseen this question, and if you allow me, go to a part of a presentation that I gave earlier. How is that possible? Actually, the same question is that why should we still monitor when we give Sugammadex? Why would we not routinely use a standard dose of Sugammadex in all of our patients? I mean, it's all the same question. If you think that recurarization cannot occur after Sugammadex, this is wrong. I mean, there are several case reports, typically with Recurarization and Sugammadex, less after Rocuronium and Sugammadex, but yet there are those case reports, and they are all relying on the same errors people make. If you think as a clinician that you can give Sugammadex without monitoring your neuromuscular blockade, you can do that in, I think, in two different ways. Or you give in every patient 100 or 200 or 300 milligrams of Sugammadex, or you give everyone a 4 milligram per kilogram, means the deep block reversal. That's one manner of thinking wrongly. The second manner of thinking is that you could dose Sugammadex on a total molar base. That means that the total molar clearance of all administered Rocuronium, whether it is all complexed or renally excreted or hepatically metabolized, or the free Rocuronium within body compartments, it requires 4 milligram, 3.57 or about that, 3.6 milligrams to be exact, Sugammadex to encapsulate, to antagonize 1 milligram of Rocuronium. So that's the molar base of antagonizing Rocuronium by Sugammadex. Okay. Now let's go to that first example. You give a standard dose of Sugammadex to your patients. There are a lot of studies meanwhile, and this is one example that show that when doing that, you have an unacceptable degree and an acceptable level of residual paralysis after Sugammadex. This is, for example, a study of Ledowski. There are other ones as well. Amit Raval, quite recently, 2 years ago, in a double paper in the Journal of Clinical Anaesthesia, showed that when you looked at the 9 studies that are available that report residual neuromuscular blockade incidence after Sugammadex in patients with, for example, a deep neuromuscular block, that when you do not monitor, that, for example, 5 minutes after administering Sugammadex in patients who have a deep block, when you do not monitor, still 36% of your patients are residually paralyzed. Now, when you molarly antagonize, when you antagonize with Sugammadex on a molar-based dose, yeah, that's a strange practice, because every drug, I think, should be based or should be given only if necessary. And that dosing scheme would always, well, significantly exceed the required amount. So that's a costly affair. And Iwasaki 2 years ago showed that when you use, and Hugo showed a similar paper, when you use intraoperative neuromuscular transmission monitoring, you can tremendously reduce the reversal dose of Sugammadex compared when you give it as such on a routine dose based. So it's just no good practice, and recurarization can occur because of redistribution. when you underdose your Sugammadex as an antagonist of your residual, of your neuromuscular blocking agent, and residual paralysis can occur in the recovery ward afterwards, on the regular ward, and so on and so on. These cases are reported. That's not a weakness of Sugammadex, it's a weakness of the performer who uses it. So everything has to do with the margin of safety. I mean, you may not forget that when we use a threshold of 0.9 or even 0.95 to extubate the tracheas of our patients, look at this figure, you still have the iceberg effect. A lot of receptors are still blocked with neuromuscular blocking agents. So we are at the edge of safety. So when you underdose Sugammadex, you are playing with the chance of that walking on that edge of safety. That's just what I wanted to show you.